Hello and welcome to episode 18 of the D Hoop University podcast. This is your host, Darrell Harris, also known as D Hoopster, and I had a good feeling that it would be. Turns out it was a really good pod that we just got done wrapping up. And I'm going to start this with a wrestling analogy. There's this tag team called the Young Bucks. They are a member of a bigger group called the Elite. When the Young Bucks tag with one of their elite brethren, they become the super elite, and fans get really excited for that. Like it's a different element and not, two guys with a third guy that they're also known for being with. So we're introducing my guy Isaiah to the pod, and I think we went from the casual diehards to the super casual diehards. Hopefully that makes some sense. I think you will notice a different energy in the pod, and it made for a good take on what is a good batch of conference finals to discuss. Stay tuned for our post lottery discussion. We dropped the pre lottery podcast earlier, and if you haven't heard that, make sure you go listen. But that's what you're going to get today. We hope you enjoy. Without further ado, let's talk some hoops.
So my original intro was going to be that I had some barbecue chicken pizza waiting for me. Let's see how long it takes before I can get to it because we got to get this pod done first.
Shit.
And then, no, it's actually funny. It's a pleasant ending. I get to enjoy the pizza, ladies and gentlemen, because Isaiah, who's joining us tonight, in true Isaiah fashion, overslept for the first day of school, but woke up in time to get there still. But just woke up like a little late. I'm messing with you.
Mutation precedes me.
No, so yeah, this is a different dynamic we got going right now. Isaiah, let's let you talk to the people for about a little bit. Let's let them hear your voice for a second, and proceed with the recording.
I'm here because I have now listened to every single episode, and the cumulative time spoken on your Eastern Conference finalist Miami Heat is about the length of a quality TikTok at this point. I'm pretty sure the remaining people on this pod can name 7 people on the team, and they have watched about a quarter and a half of them play this season. So it's nice to give some education at 3:00 in the morning Central Time.
donning the Miami Heat hoodie. I'll have you know that I've seen much more than that of the Miami Heat. I've seen at least 4 games start to finish this postseason.
I have seen at least like the over-under is like 4.5 quarters.
I'm hammering the under on both of y'all.
I'm taking the under. It's definitely the under.
Well, that is exactly why you're here. You are here. You are a correspondent. We're checking in officially. We got to get you the backdrop. We'll get you, some beach props, and whenever you're here, you'll let us know where we went wrong. So that's a good tease ahead because I feel like we both want to talk about the game that happened tonight, and then we're gonna touch on. I'm just gonna let you guys duke it out. Honestly, like we'll see who the last one is standing between the Celtics fan and the Heat fan, giving unbiased takes.
Let the gloves come off.
If you know Shiva, it's going to stay unbiased. We won't hear about how great Robert Williams is and has been snubbed 3 times for DPOY at this point.
You said it, not me.
So the Lakers won tonight. I wish. The Lakers lost tonight. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. And it had feelings of a blowout. Except it wasn't. And in my opinion, this was a weather the storm game, feel it out. Let's see what we got. The result wasn't going to really move me either way. However, if we won, I would have had, I would have came on here and said it's in the bag. I won't say it's in the bag. But what were you guys' takeaways from the whole game, from the 4 quarters we had tonight? And how are you feeling with this series going forward?
Well, tonight you saw the best player on the court, and it was Jokic. I mean, it's the first time in a series you can, honestly say Braun's not the guy right now. Getting 30 plus, 20 plus, triple double. I mean, his first quarter looked like someone who wouldn't, get off the sticks in 2K. Like it was unseen. Jokic had his way with AD, and that matchup something that it's going to be the talking point. AD dropping 40 is an afterthought. It's much like Giannis's 38 and 20, still having to wear the dunce hat. It just wasn't what we expected.
Shiv?
Yeah, I only watched the first half, and then I saw the Nuggets were blowing them out at the end of the first half. I was like, this is a wrap. And so then I went to go hit a lift, and I saw that the Lakers clawed their way back into it. But I don't know. Jokic is on kind of a little Dirk run right now where he's like quietly cooking everyone that's in front of him. And it might just like get him to the finals. This had some kind of 4-1 energy to it, Denver winning on the low. It was like they could just do this again. Like, yeah, Michael Porter Jr. is probably going to hit shots again. I don't know. Could happen.
So
Denver altitude or whatever.
Yeah. No, I was the day got going Pacific time. So I'm in the swing of the shift. And I wasn't gonna check in with this game. I was gonna let this game play out a little bit, see what it was talking about. First peek at the score. Ooh, 9-22. All right. That's how it's going. Cool. Glad I'm not, you know what I'm saying, checked in like that. And first half ends, whatever. I'm hearing the chatter. Hey, dude, I saw the halftime numbers, 19, 16 or something like that from Jokic.
That was crazy.
Very impressive.
Dude, he was eating.
So I didn't check in again. When I did, it was the fourth quarter and 12-point game. 5.5 minutes left. I'm like, okay, because my thoughts were, all right, great. We're getting punched by Jokic right in the mouth. Good. Wake these guys up, because contrary to whatever comes off about my Miami Heat takes, I've watched a lot of Nuggets. Shiv, you know what I've said about the Nuggets since the preview began. And yeah, guys, he's this good. He's this freaking good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. He's got insane numbers at half. How are you going to finish? And he was the best player on the court tonight for 3 quarters. Because in the fourth quarter, he was sitting on a donut until he hit some free throws with 30 seconds left. And I turned it on at the 5-minute mark, and they're debating the Schroeder foul. And I'm like, all right, cool. I see the play. Loose whistle, very loose whistle. But I'm like, okay, that's a game one call. And LeBron has a history of taking game ones off. And I think this was a real data analysis observation where at the end they had a chance to mess around and pull it out. And they didn't, because LeBron went for the hero 3 with about 45 seconds left. And why not? You've earned that badge. You get to pull that one. That would have tied it up, and he bricks it or whatever, goes out of bounds, and then Jokic gets a loose foul for his first points of the quarter. And that put it to 20 seconds left or whatever. It's over. It is what it is. Donut in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but you get to that point in the game because of what he did prior. I mean, we were sitting on a 30, 15, and 10 triple-double on 15 shots through 3.
Yeah, and the game's not done.
The game wasn't done, but the problem was up to that point, you're still sitting at the end of the third quarter. Lakers, I think, down 12. At halftime, they're down 18. At the end of one, they're down 13. Again, I'll give Jokic some slack, and trust me, I'm a certified third-degree black belt Jokic hater. I mean, I have so many takes in group chats that are just calling him a fat fraud time and time again. But you just have to take a step
We
back
know
at
what your
this
pinned
point.
tweet is.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shout out Devin Booker. But you look at the Nuggets putting up 130 in a game one, and you have to think that this is the best it gets for the Nuggets. So, rookie coach Darvin Ham, what do you got next?
I beg to make the argument that was near the best. I don't know if they're going to get the godly triple-double from Jokic, along with 31 from Murray, along with 16 from Bruce Brown, along with 21 from KCP. Those variables will happen again. I don't know if it all happens in the same game again. And KCP fearlessly saved them with some clutch buckets. And I don't know. I'm cool. I wish we would have won it, but I think that the biggest key was that when I turned it on too, flashback to the bubble series. The bubble series was 4-1, and AD saved the Lakers' ass because he hit a game winner down at the buzzer in game 3. Would have went down 2-1. Instead, they were up 2-1. They finished it out. Tonight, they got a taste of what they needed to see. You think back to the bubble series, what was working was you had the size and reinforcements in the front court with JaVale and Dwight. They were putting them on Jokic, who clearly have the physical traits to make life difficult for him. And then you've got AD in help. You've got Bron in help on the other side. You've got your guards being pests up front. Whatever happened in the first 3 quarters, congratulations. Doesn't matter. Like in the fourth, we're seeing Rui being placed on Jokic, and I see AD come with the help. You know what Jokic does? A couple plays in a row. Looks for the help. First one, smooth turnover. Because the guys, that could work against him again. And it worked in the bubble. I think that this Nuggets team is marginally better, but essentially the punches are the same. It's Jokic and Murray. And you're going to get a game or two where, and it depends if MPJ is like, that's what we said going in. It depends if he's really a problem. If he's not a problem, I feel really good. I feel very good. If he emerges to be a problem for games, yeah, we got something to deal with. We really got something to deal with. But like we said, I think this is his first crack at the postseason, making a deep run, and he's not ready to give it to him and be the deciding factor. So I'm not sweating this loss. I'm really not.
I mean, you shouldn't sweat it. Y'all weren't going to win this game. Like prior to it, I know Jokic made no fans tonight with splitting those free throws. Shout out all the betting degenerates pushing with the minus.
Dude.
But again, you just have to not get Bruce Brown again. You have to get something more from the bench. Outside of Rui Hachimura minutes, Lonnie Walker, hero Lonnie Walker from the semis was non-existent in game one. And Jared Vanderbilt, who you want to have come in and shut the water off, didn't do that. And his 10 minutes were not a net gain there.
Ham's he's played some good cards so far this postseason when he has to. So the rotation, somebody has to be there from somebody. I really want it to be D'Angelo Russell, because if that's just consistent, I think that solves. It takes a lot of burdens off of. He's a shot maker, but we won't get it every game, clearly. So we will see. I think, that one's in the early goings. Nuggets got one. They've been this team. They've been this team all year that don't take home games off for sure. So
yeah, they're the best home.
And the thing is, if we did get the upset tonight, we were going to get clapped by 24 in game 2.
Yeah.
The way things go. So I'm cool. Let's try and get this one. And the next one, that being, and if we don't, then we need to assess something from there. But not mad at the film that we got tonight. on these guys.
It just has to be studied.
Study, executed, applied. The assignments don't always get done. You're right about that.
This is definitely like Rui's series, though. I've been advocating for Rui since we started this podcast. And I'm like, dude, like Rui's got to get more time. Phil Handy gives him like the Kawhi comparison. I respect Phil Handy. So it's like, I see that in his game too. And I feel like he's out of all the role players that are on the floor between like Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, like Rui Hachimura, Lonnie Walker, like, dude, he's the best. He's like the best role player in this series. And it's like, all right, you're going to get like, you know what you're going to get from Murray, and you know what you're going to get from Jokic, you know what you're going to get from Bron, you know what you're going to get from AD. So like, who's going to be the guy that like really steps up and like wins him the series? And it's like, Rui, you saw what he did defensively tonight. Like they were matching him up on Jokic, and like they were able to bring AD and help. And like the fact that he can even do that and still produce offensively off the dribble is pretty impressive. So I think that he's gonna start cooking.
Yeah, no, that's another thing I like about this Lakers team, and we'll move pretty soon. But in the Warriors series or in the Grizzlies series, I'm like, what the heck? I didn't know Vanderbilt was going to just take the Morant assignment. And then it worked for like a game or two in Golden State. And of course, we had to reevaluate after that. But didn't know Rui was going to step up to the plate and take the Jokic matchup. So I like finding these elements in the postseason and them seeming to have success versus having no other options, no counters to what's going on. So probably going to be a long series. It feels like 6 or 7.
Wasn't he playing like I feel like he was like a center at Gonzaga, like Rui? Wasn't he like a big dude at Gonzaga?
He would have been if he wasn't next to Timmy, right? If he wasn't next to Timmy and I'm looking back who else was on the front court.
Was it Sabonis?
Heavens no.
Was Sabonis
and Rui?
No, but Timmy was there for like 5 years. So
shout out Perry Ellis.
He was there with Timmy and somebody else in the front court. Somebody else. Maybe a no, I'm gonna get it wrong. I'm not gonna say it. We'll see. But no, he was he was definitely big.
Yeah, that background of him doing that in college is maybe showing out a little bit. Like he's just kind of tapping into that big man reserve that he hasn't used in several years.
And that's a guy who, just learned to swim essentially in the world of basketball like 5 years, like, I'm saying, like 6-7 years ago. Yeah. So like he's still always uncovering stuff like, I can do that. Like, or I can try to do that. Like, let me figure it out. So if he puts it all together, it's gonna be solid. But enough of game one. Let's I will toss game one of the Eastern Conference Finals in the air, and whoever wants it can have it to lead the way, because I'll set the scene like this. Jason Tatum did a thing in Game 7 that a lot of people, myself included, I'm sure every Celtics fan included, and, the masses have just wanted for, and it's just to be like, dude, play like the guy we know you're capable of playing like. And yeah, he did that and had a cool 51 in a Game 7 that shouldn't have came to a Game 7. I'll remind everybody, which is where my issue with Boston lies. But we're coming off of that. Shiv hasn't had the chance to glow about that, and I'm very sorry that it's taken this long. But you have that, and you have this Heat team that is afraid of nothing.
Ain't much else you can say.
Why don't you go first, Isaiah? I want to hear what.
I will. That way we're not lulled into a sense of Celtics in 4 from my good friend Shiv over here. You're
going to let the defense take the stand.
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor. You're walking into a series where the Miami Heat are not going to be like the Sixers or the Hawks. Shout out ex-coach of the 76ers, Glenn Rivers. The Heat are not a team that's going to play with their meat. They're going to get out there and they are going to get work done. That the first sign of weakness, you are going to
wait. I'm sorry to stop you. I'm sorry to stop you, sir. Shout out to Glenn Rivers. You just made a couple amazing moments in that opening statement. Shout out to Glenn Rivers and shout out to that wild statement that he had. You may continue.
The Celtics are a team playing with a rookie coach and a young coach. He seems almost too young to, lead the youth group at church, but nonetheless, he is coaching the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. They are a team that they have weaknesses, and their weaknesses last year were overshadowed by Ime. I have a list of jokes I'll make about Ime, but for the sake of time, I'll tamper those down. But we see a series that clearly has to go 6 or 7. The only problem is if it's 3-2 Miami after 6, there's killers that play in Miami, and there were teddy bears that played in Philly. So if you come into Miami for a game 6 and it's 3-2, there are players on the Heat that have those LeBron eyes versus what you had out of Philly, where you had a chance to put a foot on the neck. And instead you got your coach fired and you alienated 12 players on your team. Shout out Joel Embiid.
That was incredible. That was a lot. I feel like I just like sat there, just like was just getting like spewed at, and I was like, damn, that's pretty crazy. So here's what I think. I think this series is where you really start to miss Tyler Hero a lot. Even though I bag on him a lot, I think that his presence is going to be missed. I don't know how you're going to get away with running Kevin Love for like 20 minutes a game, honestly. Like that's going to be such a miss. Like I'll take Robert Williams over Kevin Love in that situation like 10 times out of 10. And maybe he bangs home 2 or 3 triples. That's cool. We'll get it on the other end when we force him to switch on the pick and roll. We'll get it back. You saw what Tatum was doing. He'll throw up the 50 ball. Like it's cool. We're cool with that. I also don't think Kyle Lowry is going to get busy this series. Genuinely. And that's because like Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, Marcus Smart, these are guys who have been around for Lowry's antics for nearly a decade, if not 5-6 years. So I don't think he's going to get busy like that. I know Jimmy's going to be Jimmy and Bam's going to be Bam. Bam's going to have to be a monster, which he probably will for a game or two. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But I think what Philly messed up with is letting this Celtics team find that dog in them. Like you saw them get angry in game 7. And I remember that anger would like last year, it's like really flipped in the first round and they got angry and Ime was just bringing it out of them. And you just had a lot of confidence from the onset. But I think they found something here, like mentally. I really do. And dude, this might be over in like 5. Like this might be set. Like we might drop a game, but dude, like I don't know. Like there's. I just think they have something mentally over Miami. Miami's done a really good job of playing the whole like we're the spoilers. Like, well, like the wedding crasher role. I love it. It's cute. I love that role for the league. I do. It is awesome. We don't have a team like that. New York tried to be like that, but New York isn't that good. They're not ready yet. So somebody has to do that.
You need the antagonist.
Yeah, you need the antagonist, but this team is like destined for this. And that was their crescendo moment of like, nah, we're good. Like we have this guy. And this nobody else in the league can do what this guy does at any given point. Like I get playoff Jimmy, I get Jokic, but no one can do that. And that was just devastating. Like that was like heartbreaking. My roommate hasn't said a word to me since, and he's a diehard Sixers fan. We watched that game, and in the fourth quarter, he went to his room. I have not seen him since. I haven't seen him since. It's pretty crazy.
I feel like we have a JJ Redick, Stephen A dynamic right now.
Here we go. The 20 minutes per game for Kevin Love was real. The 20 minutes per game for Kevin Love was real, according to Basketball Reference, for all you Pythagorean theorem advocates.
The thing is, there's no dog in Boston. Where did you see anger? You didn't see anger. You saw WWE style antics. You were playing to a crowd.
Oh, this is getting very good.
Losing.
Nah,
Where was
no.
the dog when they were losing? You saw a collapse by Philly in game 6. I saw sunken shoulders. I saw 3 points through 3 quarters for Tatum. There wasn't some aha moment. I'm great. He threw up prayers because he said, "Screw it, I'm gonna go down swinging." If
Nah,
you're gonna judge me on ESPN, give me my 16
he
point.
shot through it. He shot through it, which is where most players would start trying to be a little more passive. And I'm cool with him taking the shots because
You
he's our guy. And at the end of the day, when you have the alpha, like if Jimmy's missing, like and it's a close game in the fourth quarter, Jimmy's probably getting the ball. Like that's just the way it works. Like he's that guy. He's that boy who him is.
you may have thought you were seeing Kobe in the fourth. You saw Dion Waiters' levels of delusion. He just knew if I threw it up, it might go in.
No,
ESPN will care about the 16-point fourth quarter. That's it.
I'm
That's
not even
all they
hyping
care
that
about.
performance. I think that him overcoming that into a 50-point game is representative of the fact of like I'm the best player on this team. If I miss, it's on me. If not, it's cool. And he still facilitates and he still crashes the glass really well. Like he does a lot of really great things. And I think in that game 6, he had like 4 blocks, maybe. He had a few blocks. Like it may not have been 4, it might have been 3. But I don't know. I just think
Now,
I don't know.
if I may, if I may, um, and then I will toss this back either to the defense or the prosecution. The way I've described Tatum is the best player in the league waiting to happen, waiting to be official, And after the Bucks were eliminated, I came on here and said, so the title is we are now in an open tournament for somebody to get this title of at least, having the moment where it's like, all right, that's the guy. Like, that's the best guy. And like, we're the moment where everybody like says it because of what happens. But that person has to go and get it. So with that being the case, Tatum is in the runnings 100%. Now, Isaiah makes great points. And that is essentially where I'm very concerned for Boston because they're going up against a different beast in the Miami Heat. Not just Jimmy Butler, not just in Kevin Love, not just in Eric Spoelstra, but just collectively, it's a different town. And I had no choice. I had to go back and get in the history books as I often do. And I went back to 2020. I thought it went 7.
Nope. 30-point performance. Daniel Tice versus Bam being a wash. Tweets going out. No, Bam shut it down in game 6.
It was Miami in 6. And then I was like, all right, let me kind of see game to game what happened, because we know that much of Miami's supporting cast is different. Much of Boston's supporting cast is different. Same way it is for the Lakers and Nuggets. Basically the same team. You got your same course, same, whatever. Was Brad Stevens the coach?
No. Wait,
No.
yes, that was his last year, wasn't it?
2020 was the bubble, right? I think he
Yeah.
coached.
Right. Okay. Just wanted to know. But yeah, so this was a game where Miami won the close games. When Boston won, they had a larger margin of victory. Guess what? It only means one game still. So it's you get Miami winning by 3, Miami winning by 5, Boston winning by 13. Miami won a game 4. So I was like, all right, what happened? Did Jimmy go crazy? He actually didn't really go crazy. There were 2 Goran Dragic games to start the series. In a game where it was the bubble, so there was no real home court advantage. The Celtics were the higher seed. However, seeding was determined that season. I forgot. But Goran Dragic had back-to-back, God bless him, games. The Celtics won a game. The Heat won. And in that game, Tyler Hero had 37 off the bench. And Duncan Robinson had games where he had 5, 6 threes in that series. And it's like, this is the thing. If Boston doesn't put their big boy pants, hat, shirt and tie, belt, maybe a tie clip, You know what I'm saying? Like the shirts doesn't have wrinkles. Like if they put the full ensemble on, then yeah, they can beat this team and they can 100% take care of it. They haven't shown me that they're going to do that yet. And I know they could. Game 7 was what it should have been, but I'm still shocked, dude, that people are going as hard on the outcome of that. And that's just kind of like the impact that Game 7s have. But dude, Joel Embiid's knee was cooked. It was cooked. So it doesn't matter. The outcome was going to be the outcome. They were probably going to lose because Boston was better. Shouldn't have came to a Game 7, is what it is. But why are we surprised and so aghast at the result? The Tatum 50 ball is in its own lane. Like that's still a stamp that he had on it, and the shot making and what we saw was what we saw. But it's like, dude, his knee was cooked by the second half. He was the last person up and down the court the entire half. And yeah, Boston, you better freaking win that game. So good. You did either way. Are you ready? Like, are you ready to not?
Yeah.
What did Glenn say? Play with your meat?
Can't play with your meat.
You can't. And I don't know, I just see it more as they have kind of messed around in these playoffs, and some situations were avoidable, others not so much, like when Harden gives you 40, what are you supposed to do? And I agree. They played with their food a little too much, but I think there was a turning point in that Game 7 mentally. I think this team is kind of settled into some sort of groove, or they feel very comfortable with what their roles and what they're doing. And at the point about a rookie head coach who's on the staff for these runs, he's been there. I'm not really too worried about that. David Blatt stepped in and got a team to the finals. And he won six. He took them 6 games. He took the dynasty 6 games. So I'm not concerned. It's not like it's Fred Hoiberg leading the charge here, like from Iowa State. I'm good.
Somebody go get David Blatt.
Zula's going to be all right. And I know Spo's the mastermind. I know that. He's the Godfather Jr. I get all that. I love it. Spo, I love it. But we got Joe Shiesty, all right, on the sidelines. We're good.
I don't know about the Mazooster.
Yeah.
Isaiah, I want to know what are the expectations for the supporting cast in Miami that you're looking for, and things that will give you good impressions, good takeaways, versus like what you think if Miami doesn't have this, if they can't do this, then it's not looking good.
Main thing, you got to keep the guards out of foul trouble. Like the only reason the Knicks had any sort of life were when we had Kyle Lowry and Vincent both sitting with 4 fouls in the third quarter. So if they can not fall into Brogdon, Derek White, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown antics between Strus, Vincent, and Lowry, they got a shot. Like that's the main thing. Don't get 4 fouls by the third quarter. I'll also feel good if they hit open shots, because that's what it's going to come down to. Spo's going to get you open. You're going to get a shot to take 35, 43s a game, just, through the natural flow of the offense. Duncan can't miss open shots like he did against New York. You can't have the Strus 3 for 10 from 3 game over and over and over again, because that 3 for 10 game really is going to be 3 for 13. You just need to make the open shots, but also Caleb Martin has to keep playing like the guy he's been this playoff so far.
I'm a Martin fan.
You have to be.
Saw that boy in Reno.
Yeah.
UNLV? No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No, I grew onto this Miami Heat team kind of just seeing the success because, they're still being underestimated. And when that's the case, you look at the guys who you are kind of overlooking, and you just kind of identify with the underdog. It's like, no, like if you can't tell exactly what it is they're doing, then that's just a testament to the strategy working. But it's like, no, they are factors. Like they are 100%, carrying the team through the effort and stretches where they're just relying on them and when they're resting Jimmy. And that's gotten them through, to the surprise of many. And it's like, you've got to now take it very seriously.
Yeah, and also one of the things that helped Boston towards the end, when they had Joel Embiid's limited mobility and really the lack of aggression from anyone else in Philly, they were playing that wall defense where you had Al Horford pick up ball, you're dropping Robert Williams, and then showing help from whoever's being the point guard between Derek White and Marcus Smart. You're not going to be able to do that against Miami because A, they'll shoot. Like they're going to shoot threes. And B, you have willing passers and healthier knees, knocking on glass for Miami.
No, and game ones are wake up calls. Like there's a lot of last series hangover, and game one for the Lakers, for example, it's like, oh yeah, this is not the Warriors team without a paint presence. Like, what's our front court depth again? What's our plan here? And Boston they might sit and help a little comfortably. Guess what? They're going to pull it a step or two off the line, whether you're, whether you think your closeout is like solid or not. And after three go in and you're down 9 in the second and you're like, oh, okay. Hey, all right. Nope. No, we can't play with these guys like that. Like, we got to figure it out. We got to adjust.
Strus is going to have to watch the sideline, though. You know what I mean? He had a little bit of trouble with that in Game 7, from what I remember.
Yeah, I think he might have done that a couple of times.
Yeah, I know you're outside of this keyboard, right?
Let's call.
Yeah, there's no way that this series ends in 5. The Celtics are not walking in to Miami and taking care of business.
They could.
No, because we started the game at 8:30 Eastern time, so traffic's not going to be a problem. It will be loud. There will be packed stands.
Yeah, why do Miami fans just like never really care until the end?
Well, because they're not massively unemployed like Boston fans, so they have stuff that goes on during the day. And if you ever tried to drive to the stadium, like I was staying in Miami when I went to the Chris Bosh jersey retirement, and it took an hour to get from North Miami Beach to the stadium. So, because it's on an island.
Oh.
There was a study that I saw today at my job of the 50 worst metros for commute, and Miami was 44 or 45.
Beautiful. Great stat.
It's not easy to get, especially if you don't take the Dolphin Beach Expressway. You're not getting to the stadium.
The bottom 3 were all in California.
Of course. What a surprise.
And the Nuggets think they're slick with their 5:30 start time. The Lakers are never going to win at that time in the playoffs. No, I'm just joking. No, man, you guys, I think that this is a 7-game series on our hands.
In all honesty, yeah, it probably is. But I don't know.
Because both these arguments are both going to carry into the series. Like, Shiv's going to have the moments where he is 100% like stamped on what he is saying about Tatum and the Celtics, just being awake now and this their time. Like, he's going to have all of that ready to fly. After a couple of games, Jimmy's going to do something one game. One of the Motley Crew members are going to do something for the Heat. And I think this is, I don't think that either team can get the other out of here in less than 5 or in 5 or less.
Yeah. Also, one thing we just didn't mention earlier, there was an overemphasis on Kevin Love for some reason from Shiva. He doesn't play that much.
Plays 20 minutes a game, doesn't he?
20 minutes a game? I mean, come on, bro. 20 out of 48. We'll reduce your fraction.
That's a lot of time to get cooked on defense.
But you act like he's a dumb player. You're not
No,
going
I
to
just
quote
think
unquote
people.
cook Kevin Love because quote
Dude,
unquote your power forward and center are not going to cook any damn person. I can put
Love
a skeleton out there and they ain't
We're
scoring
just
more than
we're
10.
just we're just gonna force the switch, and you're
Love
gonna have
Love
to
is
guard
one of
Tatum and
Love is one
Brown.
of the guys over there. He is
He
That's one
already
of the guys.
he's one of the guys.
And I
They
get it. Listen, I'm here for it. The stop, arguably the greatest defensive possession in my lifetime outside of the block. The stop was incredible for me as a certified Warrior hater. Like the stop is my Mona Lisa, but we're not getting that in 2023. We're getting that in 2016.
No, but we
I'm
are going to get as a weak side charge taken. That's going to get Jaylen Brown his third foul early in the second quarter, and it's going to
No,
piss you off beyond belief. Or we'll get
no,
that second foul in the first quarter, and he's checking out at the 8 minute mark. That's
no.
what you're getting from Kevin Love in 20.
Oh man. And Jimmy's gonna catch a couple of those as well. What I'm watching are Boston's bigs. I don't think that it's really where it should be between Horford and Williams right now. And if they're not able to protect the paint, and if they're not able to be visibly out, if they're getting visibly outplayed, it's not good. It's not good. And I'm a little concerned about it being just the two of them. And I haven't loved what I've seen this run. And it's knocking for Horford. He's going to get you 2 games. He's going to get you 2
He's gonna have
of
he's gonna
superb
have
Horford.
he's gonna have one game where he turns into like Ray Allen and he goes like 5 for 5 from three, and it's like, yo, this dude's running to the corner in transition.
I
What am
know.
I seeing? It's just like, what is happening right now?
He's going to turn back the hands, once or twice. I think Rob needs to do a lot this series. I'm not ready to count on him for a lot. That's what I'll be looking at, because
Yeah, for
Lowry's
sure.
going to get in there and do what he's known and do what he does.
Yeah.
He's gonna
You
get
have
away
to
with
realize
that.
the change from last year was just becoming more veteran savvy. And the guys who were walking in there for their first time, green eyes, don't need to shave yet, puppy dogs. Strus and Vincent were not ready last year. They weren't starters, and they were trusted with roles that they wouldn't have had. This year, the trial by fire of, for some reason, we have 12 players who average 20 plus minutes a game this year. That's going to come in this series because we've been hit already by 2 significant injuries that you would see in this series on the scouting report. There's no
Dude,
Hero, there's no Depot. But now we
dude.
have Vincent playing 30 plus minutes and getting the Jalen Brunson assignment, where
I,
even
I
though
Like
Jalen
Vincent.
Brunson went off, he did his job. You try and throw the kitchen sink at him, but if he's the one guy beating you, just don't let the other, 11. There's going to be a lot of that in this Boston series where Caleb Martin may have to, eat 30, 35 points a game from either Brown or Tatum, but you just have to control everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
um
agree. It'll be a good team battle.
you reminded me that so yeah, what happened in Miami last year? They in the postseason
They lost the game 7 at home
Yeah, they
to
lost 98, 96
to
on
Boston.
oh Lord, that's right. It was the Jimmy Butler in a moment where he sort of gave in to the fatigue and just like
Pulled up
wanting
3.
to end it, pulled the 3 on the break. Right. Damn. I didn't know. I kind of wasn't. I didn't know that they were checking that box in the as a team we're cracking it again with this same formula, because these guys do feel sort of newer to the scene still. They were out there last year for this exact series.
And again, the closing lineup you had in that game, the only person you're subbing into this now is you're taking out Depot and you're putting in Vincent. Strus was there.
And
Uh,
Vincent has won them some games this postseason
yeah. Also, the most slept on shot of this postseason so far
against
is
the
the
Bucks.
game 5. Is the Game 5 Bucks shot.
with like 18 left, where he's like, nope, I got
Oh,
this.
it's not 18, brother. It's 8 seconds.
Dude.
He pulls that up down 4. And then also
Right.
slept on
So much
contributions
happened
to
after
inbound.
that. Yeah, so much happened after that 8 seconds that it felt like more. No, for real. Ah, man. I don't know, brother.
I'm gonna go Celtics in 6. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's 5.
Yeah.
I feel like, honestly, just being devil's advocate here, it's more probable to be Heat in 5 than it is Celtics in 5. You're not beating that team in 5. If you get them in 6, you stole game 6.
You're not really getting that team in 5. That's not really happening.
This is a team who's done the Rocky montage of punching pictures of the missed shot for now 95 games, just thinking about it. That was their training, was do not let that feeling of game 7 happen again. Don't let that stupid ass Larry Bird trophy go to Jason Tatum again. It has to go to Miami.
And the thing that is really different from like you said, about that closing piece. The other piece that's big is the fact that Lowry is the leader of the second unit. And it's when both second units are on it's in the swing of the game where, starters are getting some rest and the rotations are getting mixed up. Instead of just having anybody come out there getting your team through the ugly stretch, it's Lowry out there driving the ship.
I like that because we have the 6th man of the year. We have Malcolm Brogdon.
Who I want to see something for. Show me something, Malcolm. Let me see you do a play that I remember. Sorry to give it to you so straight right now, because I love the number. I love the numbers and the efficiency.
That's fine.
This postseason, I don't know what number he is. I don't know what haircut he's rocking right now. He just doesn't stand out. I need to see, because I get Boston has the pieces, but at the end of the day, I'm not feeling it. It seems like it's Tatum, to a lesser extent Jaylen Brown, and then a bunch of guys wearing Celtics jerseys that are
going against Derek White.
And right, what I'm saying? Marcus Smart stands out from that bunch as well, but that as a you sort of know what you're getting from Marcus Smart, and it's not Herculean. Maybe you might get something, but it's like I want one of those guys better jump out, dude, or Tatum better knock my freaking socks off, which I want to see. I really do. But I'm going Miami in 7.
Yeah. Well, to your point about Marcus Smart, the most clutch points in the playoffs so far, Jimmy Butler leads it with 28. Jason Tatum has 26. Steph and Marcus Smart both had 23. Just saying. He's playing. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it, especially if you don't watch this team. Marcus Smart, I kind of compare him to like Draymond Green in a way. It's like he's gonna do some head ass things that are just like, oh my God.
They're of the same
time. The upside that you get when they're locked in is like, oh yeah, like this is what makes this team kind of different.
A lot of intangibles.
Yeah.
But the head assery is premium.
Huh?
So the head assery is premium. You're still gonna get that from Marcus Smart, but it's quality. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them all, and there you go. That's the facts of life. Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Let's let that marinate, because we're getting game 1 tonight, right?
We are.
It's 4 a.m. Yeah, we're getting that tonight.
We're getting it tonight.
We were able to keep a slight lens of obscurity when we do this podcast before Isaiah joined.
Yeah.
because we've normalized it. Yeah. But it's in the wee hours, ladies and gentlemen. We're putting in overtime to get this out. You know what I mean? Let's kick things off. Let's kick things out of here with the lottery results for a few minutes, because Shiva found this freaking shirt from that has been passed along through several Greek organizations and found its way into Shiva's closet. And it's a 2005 world champions San Antonio Spurs shirt because lest we forget, Shiva spent the summer in San Antonio, and he's an adopted
Huge fan.
son.
Been loyal to San Antonio since day one, obviously. I lived there for 3 months. The city treated me beautifully, so got nothing but love for that organization. I'm sure we'll have mutual interest down the road.
Told
I'm
you.
mad. I'm mad at San Antonio.
I had tacos in San Antonio for 3 months. I'm basically like from there, you know what I mean?
You got a stamp in your passport.
The Taqueria Data Point. Does that sound familiar? I was there, bro. I was in the trenches of Data Point. I'm loyal to the San Antonio soil.
I've been on the Riverwalk. You know, what I mean?
You know the Pearl. Ever heard of it?
I've laid eyes on the Alamo. I won't forget it. I won't forget it.
Oh,
I won't forget it.
Oh, have we? Shout out to Eric.
Shout out to Countdown City. 210, baby.
Oh, you know what, man? What I meant to say is that Shiv, we've coined the casual diehards. We're gonna have to put a name on this, and we'll let the name come to us maybe in a later date. But so that way we could marinate on that in the meantime, because this is going to have to be a thing. We're going to have to do this after game 1, game 2, or at least after like game 4 to see where we stand, because this was good stuff. I enjoyed letting this conversation play out and let the games begin, as they say.
I also enjoy the fact on Twitter, I let you know that you're going to have to sit through Keldon Johnson and Wemby being teammates.
You did say that. I thought it was going to be Portland. They almost had it.
I was actually scared it was about to be the Hornets, because the last thing I wanted was LaMelo, whatever person who's on probation, and Wemby going at it in the Atlantic division of the Eastern Conference. Not have to deal with Scoot shooting 28% with LaMelo and Mark Williams.
You got so freaking lucky. That might work. I might be here for that. I'm mad because I wanted Charlotte to get it. I guess more so because like I just wanted my guess to be right. And then I sold myself on that just wanting to be my pick. But I was here for Wemby going, honestly, anywhere but San Antonio.
Dude, Houston got screwed. They had the highest chance to win the lottery. They had like a 22% chance or something like
it's
that.
all flat 14 now.
No, yes, it was split between the top 4, and it was straight through the top 4. So it was just all right. Well, somebody's gonna slide, no. Somebody slid out at the 5 spot, right?
Yeah. And, shout out. What you know about Ben Wallace was number 5.
Ben Wallace. They don't know. Kids these days don't know about Ben Wallace, and they don't know what Ben Wallace did on 2K20. They don't know anything about
Damn thing.
They don't know anything about it.
Now we got to deal with this for what? 15 years? 20? 15?
He got to deal with it for 7. The first chance he gets to get out of San Antonio, he is out. He is not going to be a lifer. His jersey will not be hanging at the AT&T Center that shut down for 2.5 weeks every February for a dumbass rodeo.
I hope not.
He's not going to be there for life.
I feel like
I hope not.
I feel like his personality is so like big city.
You know what? I'm saying that thinking that he's gonna. Who knows what the hell the Lakers are gonna look like in 5 years? I'm thinking that he's gonna take titles away from like the team in this current iteration. Who knows? But I might become a real fan, because I think this guy has unique one of one just runway with what his career may turn into, and I might be all for it. I might turn into like the biggest Wemby fan, which might get annoying as well if this translates to something special.
Well, we're also looking at the fact that the Spurs just got an injection into that team. Nobody cared about the Spurs last year. They had 3 home games that they had to put in alternate locations just so they could keep up standards of attendance. They played a who gives a shit game at AT&T Center. Oh no, the Alamo Dome, where you had people looking through binoculars to see Steph Curry bust your ass by 35. You played 2 games on UT's campus just for the excitement, so you could watch Anthony Simons drop 40 and the Timberwolves backups play to close your season. Like, that team was going nowhere. Now season ticket prices have almost tripled
Oh my God.
today. Like, we just got our notification because last year I had the 10-pack of tickets and I spent $91 on it. That same
Ladies
thing's
and
$100 now.
How much?
300.
Isaiah,
For
by the
10
way,
games, that's not bad.
one
But
of
that's
Isaiah's several alma maters is UTSA, if I'm correct.
Woo.
Birds up.
Birds up.
So we actually have Shiva's not the San Antonio doesn't claim Shiva. They actually there's records that they sort of claim Isaiah.
They claim
They have
Isaiah.
to.
Now I'm on the outside. I was a brief visitor in San Antonio.
That's nuts,
Voted.
man. That's nuts. Shout out to Eric. I'm gonna have to dip down there and catch a couple.
I listened to the episode with Chuck, which was fire. And I think my biggest takeaway from the draft was, dude, Orlando has like 2 picks in the first round. And I know
they
Chuck
fleeced Chicago.
Yeah, and I know Chuck was talking about Keontae George. And if Keontae George kind of falls to that like mid-first round range, Keontae George with that Orlando team with like Paulo and Franz and whoever else they got there, who knows? Maybe they package Isaac in the 13th pick and they go get somebody serviceable.
They could do a ton.
I'm here for it.
They could get aggressive if they want. They 100% could, or they could take a great pick and add him to the pot, and then see who they're keeping, mortgage the children, and make a grown up move. And
my thing is with that team, if I'm Portland and I'm not impressed, or Dame calls me and says, hey, the 3rd pick doesn't move the needle. I put out my list of destinations tonight with the 6th and the 11th pick. Do I go get those and do a complete rebuild in one draft? Going 3, 6, and 11. You part ways with Dame, the 6th and the 11th pick, and maybe you go get me one of their young 3 guards, send it to Portland, send Dame to Orlando. The timeline's changed.
Wow. You guys
the
didn't get to see
timeline
my
is
face.
Completely changed if you go 6 and 11. Send that to Portland plus a future first, because the Vucevic trade.
At that point, take who do you want? You want Suggs? You want Cole? Do you want? I would prefer to keep Franz. If you need Franz, you can have him. But no, we got to keep Franz. Keep Franz. Yeah. But no,
you throw in Isaac. You throw in Isaac to make the salaries work, because I think he's getting paid.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, please take this.
Well, he's also unguaranteed. So if you don't want to hold that money forever, and you're really looking to cut the salaries in the end too,
he's more than expendable at this point. It's like, dude, they've invested in you and been patient with you. They don't. Nobody's willing to take much of a chance, and I like that idea. That's something. And if you're Portland, when have we haven't seen that in a while? You already got Sharp, you snuck Thibault, you have Simons, who can be a lead scoring guard. Now I don't know, just tank still kind of go a Utah OKC route, where now we just have mad prospects, and we're gonna lose a bunch. But these guys are going to get pretty good. Then we're going to find the right guy to.
Yeah.
One of them is going to be somebody. They still got Jeremy Grant under contract, and
dude,
that's interesting.
Paulo's going to be crazy in like 4 years. He's going to be nasty. Like he's like LeBron, but like Blake Griffin sized. It's insane. Like he's massive.
All right, let's pump the brakes. Paulo and LeBron.
He's nasty, bro. He's doing. I think him and LeBron are in very similar scoring categories for their rookie season or something like that.
That's a sentence you can say, but let's pump the brakes on the young kid from Duke.
I like him.
Great rookie season.
I like Paulo, man. I'm big on. I'm buying Paulo.
I know what Shiva. I know where Shiva's point comes from. It's because
he has point forward tendencies, and I'll do this myself at times tendencies, essentially. I get you.
And he can hit shots.
I know what you mean.
Got a nice jumper. He's got a great jumper. He can facilitate incredibly well.
No, I love that. Get Dame in Orlando. Get Dame out of there. Dame. You're good, brother. I will shake your hand and look you in the eye and tell you, you've done your job there. Please go capitalize on opportunity to be had elsewhere. And you know what I'm saying? Like, Portland might tell him, "Hey, Dame, we're going to rebuild. Sorry, dude. Like, sorry to break it to you."
The only way Dame stayed with tonight's results is they got one. I think he would have stayed with Wemby, Scoot, and Brandon Miller.
And it was a shot. It actually was a shot. That lottery.
I don't re-sign my lease for Brandon Miller and Scoot Henderson. I'm out. I'm looking for the early termination option. I'll pay the fee. Just get me the hell out of this apartment. I'm done.
Dude, there's that 90 seconds of the lottery, like, is such a humbling, like ride for all but one team, because you just hold on. I'm just saying, we gotta shit. Nah, never mind. Nope, we got
the San Antonio representative literally exclaimed out of sheer jubilation.
Do you not realize what happened? They just injected $500 million of revenue into a city overnight.
No, I know, but it was just so funny because it's just this grown man.
The lottery isn't supposed to happen like that. It's not supposed to work like that, man. I'm mad at that. The ping pong balls aren't supposed to grant this team the first overall pick with having only been in the lottery for 2 freaking years, man. Give me a break.
But here's the thing. I don't want the lottery there to help perpetually bad organizations find their way out.
I get it.
Miss me with the Pistons. I'm so happy you got the 5th pick. Rest in piss. You shouldn't have got the first pick last year. You have teams like the Magic who...
Why do you hate Detroit?
I mean, I'm going to drop, keep the F-bombs away from Detroit. I'm still scorned by 2005. The shirt he should be wearing should be Miami versus San Antonio in 2005. You get Rip Hamilton knocking out D-Wade's ribs in 2005. Who cares if I was 8? I'm still pissed off. You know one thing about me, I'm going to hold a grudge. It's been 18 years. Should I get over it? Probably. Will I? Hell no.
I recall now.
And then you have teams like the Magic who they set their clock for the draft lottery. They don't set it for playoffs. They've won 2 playoff games in 13 years. Get over it. You quit looking for the lottery. But instead, I'm okay with a team like the Spurs bouncing back after 2 years. And I'm okay with the Pelicans getting that pick.
I'm hating. I'm hating. I know. I'm hating.
I mean, you got to think the Lakers got the 2nd overall pick. The Lakers were definitely ping pong Polly there for a few years, but they got some good luck.
Hey, hard times, brother. We lost Kobe, to retirement. I mean, at the time, it was a lot going on. Give us 3
we
years.
Lost Dwayne Wade and got the 14th and 13th pick. It happens.
Yeah, man.
I just want to point out the Wizards have successfully landed another mid pick in the draft and will continue to be a slightly below average team yet again for a record consecutive 8 years in a row. And we'll probably hear more rumblings of Bradley Beal not being happy, but dog, you signed this fat extension and you said you wanted to win. And I can't believe you looked at Danny Advia and thought, yeah, this is the step in the right direction for us as an organization.
But tell me what you know about Kyle Kuzma.
He's probably going to get traded this offseason, bro.
Bradley Beal, shout out to Jalen Rose and Jacoby. Bradley Beal is captain. Keep getting them checks.
Yeah, he
wasn't saying no to that money.
No,
and I would not.
And I get it. I'm just coming off as a fan. You know what I mean? If I saw even a tenth of that, I would give up whatever I'm doing right now and do whatever it is that money wanted me to do.
I saw
First off, you give me Omer Yurtseven money, I'm different. So
Yeah.
don't even think what I would look like with Brad Bill money.
Yeah.
Brad Bill money, I'm switching my name and moving to Fiji. Like y'all don't know me.
Omer.
The money will change me. I'm no rap
It
lyric
will.
ever. I'm
let
honest.
it change me. No, I saw this tweet that said, y'all, Cat is making 49 million in 2024 or 2025, 51 million in 2026. Put the trade machines away.
Yeah.
Nobody's touching this, brother.
That's what we thought. And then Rudy Gobert gets you 5 picks with a similar contract.
Right.
So
no, it's
what we
nuts,
know
man.
is not what we know.
These numbers are getting crazy.
Danny
Oh
Ainge,
man,
greatest finesse of all time.
Yeah. Shout out. Doesn't win a title with his finesses, but he'll definitely get you some picks.
He got one. He got one.
Lucas title.
He got one.
Bynum's healthy, they never win it. But I digress.
Great point.
I text Shiva, and I think you were in that group chat of talking about the great fraud of Glenn Rivers. And we need to eulogize this man because he is more likely to be sitting as an assistant coach in the next year than he is to lead a team. Glenn Rivers gave you 10 straight Game 7 losses. He has the most 3-2 and 3-1 blown series leads in NBA history. Also in dramatic fashion, he has lost his spot on the all-time playoff rankings to Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra this postseason. And we can all finally rest easy at night knowing that that raspy voiced son of a gun will not be there to terrorize another series lead. He was a fraud in 08. When he actually had to coach in 2010, he got washed. When he's had to coach every other time since then, he's been washed. Mike D'Antoni made you look like an idiot, and Mike D'Antoni only makes himself look like an idiot. Have fun on vacation. Watch your son play basketball. He needs you. But leave the league alone.
Oh man, Doc's getting another job.
Hey, the Puerto Rican Basketball Association has been thriving lately.
Hey, it actually has.
Shout out to PPA.
And if not, Dwight might invite him to. Did y'all see Dwight's Taiwan
Don't go on
video?
vacation with Dwight Howard.
Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole.
The Tigers need you.
Dude, what did Dwight
like
Howard
last
tweet out?
place in the division?
But he gets buckets, though.
Hey, he got worked by my boy Sim Bular, though. I know y'all seen the video.
Hey, I have not seen the video. I will go look it up. But Sim Bular was on my radar, and I'm mad it didn't pan out.
He was cooking Dwight.
I did not know he's still playing.
Yeah, he's in Taiwan.
It was like watching like Wilt and Bill Russell, but like in color footage and 720h. Like,
first off, those games in Taiwan are not in color footage.
On an iPhone.
It was the greatest thing I had ever seen at like 2:30 in the morning. I was like, dude, they're like scuffling. They're like arguing with each other. It's insane. It's legitimately crazy. It's like this dude is going to war for my people right now, bro. Straight up, like respect, bro.
Yo,
respect.
the wheels are gone. This is it, ladies. This is it, folks. Thank you for listening. Like, follow, and subscribe to the pod. Interact on socials. Thank you for making it. And we're going to do it again. This is not a one-off by any means.
Not at all.
Yeah, the fun part's going to be finding a way to make it through work tomorrow because little do you know, I have to be in the office. It's an hour and 48 minutes. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take a shower and cold brew and figure out what we can get done.
Cheers, brother. Off to the bag.
Yet again.
Till next time, folks.
Peace.